Hey everybody, David here, and today I want to talk a little bit about Batman. Now, if you haven't heard, a few weeks ago, Walter Hamada, who is in charge of the DC Films division, has stated that, there are going to be two Batman sagas running at the same time. There's going to be the Matt Reeves Robert Pattinson Batman, and then there's going to be another Batman which will be part of the DCEU. And it got me thinking. At first, I was like, really, guys, you're going to overstuff us with Batman? I love Batman. Batman and Superman are my top two favorite superheroes of all time. But even I have to say, I want to see some other characters too, I want to see more of Shazam, more of Wonder Woman. I want to see a Green Lantern film eventually. I want to see The Flash. I don't want you guys to overkill it with Batman. And the more I thought about it, the more I was thinking of ways, well, how can they make this work to make this Batman stand out? And then there were rumors that maybe Michael Keaton could be the main DCEU Batman, since he's going to be appearing in the Flash movie with Ezra Miller as part of the Crisis thing. And there were rumors that he could be in for multiple films, making cameos and such throughout the films. And first, let me get to my first train of thought. The first thing I thought of when I heard about two Batman movie series going on at the same time, I thought to myself, okay, well, obviously Robert Pattinson will be one Batman. How can they make the second Batman feel different? Because if they feel the same, people are going to be like, well, why are you giving me two different Batmans that are pretty much the same exact thing? Just give me one. And why are you making me choose? The advantage that I see that a DCEU Batman has over the Matt Reeves Batman, from what we've seen so far in that first trailer, is that the Matt Reeves Batman is going to be more realistic and darker and grittier. I think the DCEU Batman is where you can have him face more supernatural type threats and villains, such as Ra's al Ghul. Obviously the Batman Begins version was a little bit more of a realistic version. Maybe now you can do the one that has lived for hundreds of years or thousands of years. You can also do more villains like Man-Bat or Clayface, Poison Ivy, maybe Mr. Freeze. Those are villains that definitely need redemption, like Bane had in The Dark Knight Rises. So there is an advantage there. Also, you can introduce the Batman family, right? You can introduce this Batman could have a Robin with him, or a Batgirl, which apparently they are going to develop a Batgirl movie for HBO Max. So that type of a Batman that lives in the DCEU, which is a little bit more friendlier, because let's face it, that if you watch that Matt Reeves Batman trailer with Robert Pattinson, that looks like it's going to be a heavy PG-13 film. It could even cross the R-rated line from what it looks like. I'm going to guess they're going to keep it PG-13, but you'll never know. And if they do go for that rated R, then it would make sense that they're going to make another Batman movie franchise that would be PG-13 that parents could take their kids to go and check out. Like, this is the cleaner Batman movie for you kids. Me and mommy are going to go check out the more adult version later on. But I think this could work if they do it that way, with the Bat family, with the more fantastical villains, if you will. But there is another option that they could take here, which I think would be even the better choice. And I know there's some people out there, like John Campea, who does not like the idea of this, but he thinks a lot of people won't go for it, but I think people will. Batman Beyond. Batman Beyond was an animated TV show which lasted 3 seasons back in 1999, and I think it ended in late 2000. Obviously, there have been many fans that have remember it fondly, like myself. There's even the direct-to-video Batman Beyond Return of the Joker, which well, it is what it's called. Basically, Batman Beyond takes place in the future. According to Bruce Timm, who is the producer of Batman the Animated Series, and Batman Beyond, and Justice League Unlimited, and Superman the Animated Series, he said Batman Beyond takes place 20 years after Justice League Unlimited ends, in the far future. And basically, Bruce Wayne is too old to be Batman anymore. He almost gets a heart attack, which makes him realize, I can't do this anymore, and I gotta retire. And after a while, a couple years go by, and this kid runs into Wayne Manor accidentally after being attacked by a gang, and finds the Batcave, where he learns that Bruce Wayne is Batman, and he becomes the new Batman. Obviously, he has a tragedy himself that is similar to Batman, where Batman lost both his parents. Terry McGinnis loses one of his parents when a crime happens, that some shady shit goes down, basically, that gets his father murdered. And obviously, he wants vengeance for his father's death. And when Bruce realizes how similar he is in what he wants to accomplish, he allows Terry to take on the mantle of Batman and mentors him. I think that would make a great movie, especially if you showcase that to an audience. John Campea believes that no one's interested in a Batman movie if it's not Bruce Wayne. But I believe if you show them the plot of this movie, tell them the plot of this movie and explain it on what it is. It's basically The Mask of Zorro, but with Batman. If any of you've seen The Mask of Zorro, that's practically the storyline, where the original Batman is now retired and mentors a new Batman to take his place because he's too old to go on. And it's an interesting idea, I think, because, if you think about it, Bruce Wayne is mortal, and he will not be able to fight on forever. So what does that make of Gotham City? Because Gotham City is supposed to be one of the most corrupt cities in the world. And what would that be like if Bruce Wayne was forced to retire and not be Batman anymore? Would the city still become corrupt again? Of course it would, because who else would be protecting the city? So eventually that mantle would have to be passed down to someone. And I think Batman Beyond is the perfect concept to explore that. And I know they were planning a Batman Beyond movie back in the early 2000s, before Batman Begins came out. They were planning a Batman Beyond movie. I believe Paul Dini and Alan Burnett, who were the producers with Bruce Timm on Batman Beyond, I believe they were the ones that were trying to write the script for it, and they were trying to come up with a whole bunch of Batman movies. I know I did a video about this, a whole bunch of Batman movies that were being planned in the past, and I did the video because of the documentary The Death of Superman Lives, the Superman movie starring Nick Cage. I did a whole video of other superhero movies that were supposed to be but never happened, and Batman Beyond, I do mention it in that video. And I think if you explain it to someone like that, yeah, they'll for sure be interested. It's still Batman. Bruce Wayne is still in it. You're just giving a new perspective, something new to the audience that I think people will be like, hey, you know what? That sounds like a cool idea. What would it be like if Bruce Wayne was forced to retire because of his old age? Because, yeah, he is mortal, and that's why a lot of people relate to Batman, because of his mortality. He's not like Superman or Wonder Woman, who, have youthful looks for the rest of their lives and are invincible for the rest of their lives. He doesn't have super speed like the Flash. He doesn't have a ring that gives you power. He's just a regular guy that just has the skills that he learned to use, and he has the brains, but that's about it. He can't stop getting old. And I think exploring that in a movie, I think people would definitely be intrigued to see that. So, and I don't think you have to use the villains from Batman Beyond. I think you could still use Bruce Wayne's villains, especially if Michael Keaton does turn out to be the Bruce Wayne in this Batman DCEU continuity. I would prefer it if the Batman Beyond movie took place far in the future, away from the present day. That way you could still use a younger Batman to be in a Justice League movie. Because I think if you do a Justice League movie, which I hope that Warner Brothers will get to again one day, I want it to be Bruce Wayne and not Terry McGinnis. And that would be the smart thing, to put the Batman Beyond movie far in the future. And that way, if you want to have Wonder Woman or Superman show up and still be played by Gal Gadot and Henry Cavill, Superman and Batman, we don't know. Obviously, Wonder Woman, we know she doesn't really age. She's been around for over 100 years and she still looks incredibly the same. Superman, who says that he ages too? Maybe he could age slower than most, so you just put a little bit of gray streaks on Henry Cavill's hair and there you go. He's still Superman, but in the future a little bit older slightly, but still maintaining his youthful looks. Like, those two characters can stay like that, and then you can explore other avenues of the future of the DCEU if you want. I think there's some fun things that they could do with the Batman Beyond movie. I'm just saying, the Batman Beyond TV series explored some of those avenues. So look, guys, tell me what you think. Do you want to see another Batman movie franchise, saga, whatever you want to call it, going side by side with Robert Pattinson Batman? Do you think they should make it something different to give them both their own identities? Because if we're just getting two Batman movies that are both about Bruce Wayne as Batman, one has to be different than the other, so people are like, okay, what is this one giving me that's the other one isn't? Or else there's no point to it. And that's what I have to believe. I have to believe that they are doing something very different with the DCEU Batman than they would be with the Robert Pattinson one, because that would be the only point. So I don't know. Comment below and tell me your thoughts. I think a Batman Beyond movie, or even a Batman movie with Robin and Batgirl, the Batman family in there, or the more fantastical villains. I think something like that would definitely help it stand out. So tell me your thoughts. I hope you guys can like this video and subscribe to my channel. A lot of that helps, so please remember to do that. And until next time, everybody, take care.